So in this next case, you'll be told a woman deposited 4,000 shillings in a savings scheme in the first month. Thereafter, she increased her deposit by 400 shillings per month for 50 months. Then you'll be told to determine the last amount deposited and the total amount saved in the 50 months. Total amount saved in the 50 months. So if you look at this question, you first investigate, you interrogate the question to see what am I dealing with here, isn't it? So here you can see the amount deposited is, so the amount deposited is shillings 4,000, isn't it? Is shillings 4,000. Then in a savings scheme for the first month. So the first month is 4,000. Thereafter, she increased her deposit by 400 per month. So you can see, first month plus 400, you get the second month, isn't it? Second month plus 400, you get the amount deposited. Every month, she was increasing by 400, isn't it? Are we together? So she increased her deposit by 400 for. So it means what you are getting here is the amount at the end of the second, at the end of the first year, because this is the initial deposit, isn't it? At the end of the first month, I mean, because it is months, isn't it? So at the end of the first month, this is the money in the account, isn't it? At the end of the second month, this is the money in the account, because this is the initial deposit before the month starts, isn't it? When she's starting with the deposit. Are we together? So you can see, this is a case of an arithmetic progression. There's a common difference. It uses specific addition sign, isn't it? So we have the first term A and the common difference D, isn't it? At the end of this month, this is the amount in the account plus 400 every month per month. For how many months? For 50 months. So you have to interrogate the question before you identify what you are dealing with, isn't it? You have to interrogate the question. Are we together? So from this interrogation, what have we realized? We've realized it is an arithmetic progression. So after realizing it is an arithmetic progression, we know that the first term of an arithmetic progression is given by A. And that first term was the initial deposit, which is 4,000, isn't it? And we also know that the common difference of an arithmetic progression is given by, and that D, we are seeing it is here, it is 400. So we have interrogated the question, so we can now deal with it. You have to interrogate the question before you start dealing with it, isn't it? So we've seen the pattern. It is an arithmetic progression. So in arithmetic progression, what else do we know? The nth term of an arithmetic progression is given by n, a plus n in minus 1 by d, isn't it? Then the sum of n terms of an AP, the sum of an n terms of an AP is given by a2 plus n minus 1 into d, like that. So these are how to get the nth term and the sum of n terms of an AP. Then at the same time, we've been told this kind of series, this kind of pattern happened for how many months? 50 months. For 50? So they're saying per month, she increased her deposit by shillings 400 per month for 50 months, isn't it? Are we together? So, what is our N? Anybody? Remember, she increased her deposit for shillings 400 per month for 50 months. What is N? 50. What is N? N is 51. The 400 was an increase for 50 months. But remember, the first term is the term number 1. So this first term plus the 50 months. Are you seeing that? N is not 50. N is 50. Are you seeing that? Because the first term there was the initial deposit, 400 was the first term. Meaning the second term, meaning an increase of 400 gives you the second term. Meaning from the second term onwards up to the 50th term. So from second term up to the 50th, not up to the 50th term, from second term 50 times. This 400 is increasing 50 times, isn't it? Meaning when you add 400 once, you get the second time. Meaning when you'll be adding 400 for the 50th time, you'll get the 51st. Because adding it for the first time gives you the second time, isn't it? Meaning adding it for the 50th month will give you the 51st term. Meaning the total number of terms is what? Is 51. So that is where the people, those unique things is what is normally tested in the question. You've seen the kind of questions we are handling here is unique in its own way, isn't it? There's a point which they are testing, and that point is where the people get it wrong. Are you getting that? Are you together? Yes. You have to investigate the question and see clearly what you are dealing with. Okay? So what do we have here? Last amount deposited. So which one is the last amount deposited? It's the last term, isn't it? See, the last amount deposited is the last term. Meaning when she's deposited for the 50th term will be the 51st term, isn't it? Are you seeing that? Are we together? Yes, because so the 50th term, the 51st term will be what? Will be? Where there is n, you put 51, isn't it? Yes. Note that where is the nth term? Here, isn't it? So the 51st term is the last term, isn't it? So nth term is the 51st term. Where they said you put 50, it will be a plus, you put 51, a plus 50d, isn't it? 51 minus 1, you get? That is the last amount deposited, isn't it? Are we together? Yes. Remember the initial deposit was 4,000. So the next deposit, 400 is just an increase, meaning the next deposit she will deposit 4,400. An increase. Are you getting that? Yes. Then in the next month she add another 400 on top of that, progressively, isn't it? Are we together? So what is this last amount? You just substitute. A is, where was our A? A we found to be 4,000. Then it is times 50 times D. D you found to be 400. So what was that last amount? 24,000. Like that, isn't it? So 24,000 was the last amount deposited. You've even seen some people who have saving schemes. They're saying, they're using, if a year has 365 days, they're saying the first day, when this year starts, first day, I'm saving 1 bob. Second day, I'm saving 2 bob. Third day, I'm saving 3 bob. The last day, I'm saving 365 bob. Are you seeing? The 10th day, because you are counting all the days in a year, then that day in a year you save that amount. Like such kind of case, isn't it? These are the kind of cases here. The first year, the first month, I save 4,000. Second month, I'm saving 4,400. The third month, I'm saving 4,800. The next month, I'm saving 5,000. Meaning I'm increasing by 400 in that order, isn't it? Are we together? Tuko pamoja? Then what next do we want? The total amount saved in the 50 months. Do you understand that question? The total amount saved in the 50 months. How is that? Can somebody answer that? Sum of the 50 terms. Another person? Yes. They've said the total amount saved in 50 months. In those 50 months. Anybody? With us, he's saying the sum of the 50 terms. Another person? Yes.
I think we look for the total saving, then we minus for the first month.
We minus the first deposit. Are you getting that? The total amount saved in the 50 months. You remember this 400 for 50 months. This 50 months is what they are talking about. Meaning from the second term onwards. Are you seeing that? From the second term onwards. Because working with the first term is easier when we have the first term. Then we get the total amount for the 51 months, isn't it? Then we subtract that first month, isn't it? Then we look for what was for this 50 months where there was an increase of 400 per. Are we together? So what do you do there? What do? You look for sum of 51 terms first of all, isn't it? Which will be, where there is n, you put 51, 51 over 2 into 2a plus 51 minus 1 plus 50, 50d. So what do you get? Where there is a, put the value of a, which is 4,000. Where there is d, put the value of d, which is 400. So when you substitute a 4,000 and d 400, you get 714,000 flat. 714. Are we together? So that is the sum of the whole 51 terms. The first term was the initial deposit, isn't it? But to the question 1, to the total amount saved in those 50 months. Because the 50 months is where there was an increase. Remember, you have to understand the question. Thereafter, she increased her deposit by 400. Not that thereafter she deposited 400. She increased the deposit. Meaning if the initial deposit was 4,000 and I've increased with 400 thereafter. Are you seeing that? Meaning the next deposit I will make is 400 shillings higher than the previous deposit I made. Are you seeing that? Those are two different things. That was an increase. The 400 was an increase. It was not the deposit. Are we together? Yes. Good. It was an increase of what she ought to have deposited, isn't it? She ought to have deposited 4,000 constantly, but she's not doing that. She's making an increase of 400 on top of what she deposited in the previous month, isn't it? So what do we get? What do we get to be the sum of the amount saved in the 50 months? So the amount saved in the 50 months will be 714,000 minus the first, minus the initial deposit, isn't it? Minus the initial deposit, which was 4,000, you get the 50 months, isn't it? Which is 710,000. Just like that, isn't it? So you see, these questions are very, very unique in a way. It is not that sequence of series from 3 where you just move like this and see. It is very unique in a way, isn't it? Good. So